You ever wonder what holds a nation back? What if the biggest barrier, the one thing stopping it from reaching its full potential, was just access to knowledge? Well, today we're going to look at a brand new organization in Nigeria that's tackling that exact problem head on. This is the story of Care for Knowledge.
Right off the bat, this is the vision that drives everything they do. It's so simple, but so powerful. We're talking about a world where quality education and skills training are for everyone. It doesn't matter where you live, how much money you have, or what your background is. This idea, it's their North Star. It guides every single thing we're about to dive into.
So, who's the team with this huge vision? Let's meet them. We're talking about Care for Knowledge, a nonprofit that is definitely on a mission.
So yeah, this is Care for Knowledge, or CFK as we'll call them. And get this, they're brand new, a registered nonprofit that was just established this year, in 2024. Talk about hitting the ground running with a huge ambition, right?
So what makes them tick? What's their DNA really? Well, at their core, it's all about making educational resources accessible. But it's so much more than that. They're also committed to raising up a new generation of changemakers. They're fueled by this deep, genuine belief in Nigeria's potential. And they're not just thinking local. They've got their eyes on making a global impact.
Okay, so a big vision is great, but how do you make it real? Here's their mission statement. And I want you to notice a few key words here. High quality, accessible, and practical. See, they're not just, dumping information online. They're crafting specific tools, resources, and videos that are actually designed to help people succeed, both in school and in their careers.
And underpinning all of this are their core values. Think of these as the building blocks for everything they do. You've got accessibility, which is all about opening doors, collaboration, innovation, quality. It's all here. Integrity, empowerment, excellence. This stuff isn't just for a poster on the wall. It's the bedrock that guides every single decision they make.
All right, so with that solid foundation in place, CFK is looking to the future. And they've set some seriously ambitious and really specific goals that they're aiming to hit by 2030.
Okay, goal number 1. They're targeting 10 core subjects for the SSCE. Now, if you don't know, that's the big one, Nigeria's critical university entrance exam. And for these subjects, they're planning to provide not only free textbooks, but also, get this, 15 years of solved past questions. For any student trying to prep for that exam, this is an absolute game changer. Seriously.
Next up, they're aiming to equip a whopping 10,000 young Nigerians with skills that you just don't get from a textbook. We're talking about civic knowledge, critical thinking, and just practical life skills. This isn't just about passing tests. It's about shaping smart, well-rounded citizens.
And their third big goal, to raise up 300 dedicated youth leaders. And notice the wording here, raise. This isn't just teaching a class. This is about actively cultivating, nurturing the next generation of leaders through really focused programs, like the fellowship we'll talk about in a minute.
Okay, those are some massive targets, right? So the big question is, how? How are they actually going to do all this? Well, let's take a look at CFK's programs. This is where the vision starts to become a reality.
First up is a program called Wiki Questions. You can think of this as the powerhouse, the engine that's going to make that massive goal of digitizing 15 years of exam questions actually happen. It's all about making that history accessible for generations to come.
And they've got a system for it. It's pretty straightforward. They take those old paper exams, digitize the questions, and then create this secure digital archive. It's kind of like a digital treasure chest of knowledge. And the best part? They make it all accessible on any device, preserving it for anyone who needs it, now and in the future.
All right, next is the CTRI. That's a mouthful. It stands for the Collaborative Tutorial Resources Initiative. And if you think about Wiki Questions as preserving the past, well, CTRI is all about building the tools for the future.
This is the part of the operation where those new textbooks and learning resources are actually created. So we're talking about book development, hands-on subject assistance, basically building up a whole library of tools that give students the direct academic support they need to succeed.
And that brings us to their third major program, the Model National Assembly, or Model NAS for short. Now this one ties directly back to that goal of raising changemakers and future leaders.
And this is a totally hands-on experience. We're not talking about reading a book about government. The participants, they actually live it. They go through legislative simulations. They learn real-world skills like event coordination. The whole thing is designed to develop them into practical, effective leaders.
Now let's zoom in on the program that really ties all of this together, the one that's absolutely key to hitting that leadership goal. I'm talking about the CFK Fellowship.
So the fellowship,
This is the absolute core engine behind that goal of raising 300 youth leaders by 2030. It's the program where dedicated, passionate young people can come to grow, to contribute, and to really learn how to lead from inside CFK's other programs.
And it's not just a one-off thing. There's a clear path for growth. A fellow will progress through 4 different stages. They start out as a foundation fellow, then move up to associate, then senior, and finally principal fellow. And with each step up, they take on more responsibility and get an even bigger opportunity to make a real impact.
Now, even though all this action is happening right there in Nigeria, CFK's work doesn't exist in a bubble. It actually connects directly to some of the biggest, most important global goals that we're all working towards. I mean, just look at how their work lines up with the UN's Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. When they provide educational resources, that's a direct hit on SDG 4, quality education. The skills training they do, that helps with decent work and economic growth, which is SDG 8. And of course, their entire mission of making knowledge accessible to everyone helps reduce inequality, which is SDG 10. It's a perfect example of how local action can have a truly global significance.
And all of this brings us right back to that big core idea we started with. What Care for Knowledge is doing, really, is testing a powerful hypothesis on a national scale. It leaves us all with this one critical question to think about. What really happens when knowledge becomes truly genuinely accessible to everyone? If their work is any indication, the potential is pretty much limitless.